We will call to order the City of Douglasville City Council regular meeting for Monday, April 4th. We will ask that you would please stand as Brother John Stone from Central Baptist Church will come into our invocation, and after that, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilman Mike Miller. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you here today. Before we have our invocation, I always like to give a little word of wisdom. Today's word of wisdom is, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. This is from Henry Ford, a very successful individual in our history. At this time, let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we ask that you bless this council today, that you may direct them to carry out the business for the city of Douglasville in a proper and professional manner, and that they do what is right for the citizens of this community. We bless all that are present and watch over us through the coming days and weeks. We also ask that you bless the young men and women in our community that provide service 24/7 to see that we are safe and well protected, and also watch over our young men and women who are serving in the military, both home and abroad, and so that they can return and become a successful part of the community and where they reside. In all these things we say, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Councilman Miller and Brother Stone. That was great wisdom that you passed on from Henry Ford. We will move on to announcements and presentations, and the announcements are that procedurally, we just have some simple procedures. Please turn your telephones, your cell phones, put those in silent mode, and any electronic devices that you may have. Please keep your conversations to a minimum. No loud outburst or booing. No clapping unless initiated by mayor and council. If you'd like to give comments during this meeting, you'll first need to fill out the citizens' comment form, which is found on the small table outside of this building, the auditorium. On the right-hand side, there's a little table there, and if you would come in, hand that form filled out to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker. We only accept for and against comments from our citizens on zoning matters, and you'll be given the length of time and direction when to do so by myself. All other comments will be done at the end of the meeting, which is in citizens and delegates section of the meeting. And before giving any comments, please state your name and address for the record, and no personal attacks, please. We'll go on. We have the minutes. Do I hear a motion for the minutes? Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve the minutes. Are there any corrections? Any comments? If not, all those in favor of approving the motion, please, the minutes, please say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, the consent agenda is item 28-16-05. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and seconds and properly moved and second to approve the consent agenda, item 28-16-05. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. The consent agenda has been approved. We'll move on to public safety, and that committee chair is Councilman Mayor Pro Tem Yaki. He is not in, so we'll ask the vice chair, Councilmember LaShawn Burdanley. Do you mind? Do you have any business for public safety?
No business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Moving on to Community and Economic Development Committee, the vice chair is Councilman Richard Siegel. Do you have any business, sir?
Yes, Madam Mayor. One item, 21-16-09, adopt a resolution declaring April 18th through 22nd, 2016 as Manufacturers Appreciation Week within the city of Douglasville. I put forth item 21-16-09 in the form of a motion for approval.
Thank you, sir. It's been a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or discussion? Do we have a presentation by Mr. Chris? Thank you. Yes, sir. You can come at this time and give your name and address for the record, and then talk to us about. I think one of the questions were how many members? Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Chris Pumphrey, 2050 Rolling Rock Court, Lithia Springs. Happy Masters Week to you all and spring break. So to Councilman Siegel's request the other night, there are 20 manufacturers in the city of Douglasville employing 1,712 people. And those 20 manufacturers in the city of Douglasville contribute an estimated annual revenue of $23,966,922.
We certainly appreciate that.
Very impressive. Manufacturers Appreciation Week was started by the Georgia Department of Economic Development in conjunction with the Technical College System of Georgia. That week this year is April 18th through the 22nd. It is a full week of just celebrating manufacturing and its impact on the state. It's an opportunity to share a lot with our young people about careers in manufacturing, what manufacturing means to an economy, and how the job opportunities that exist therein. That week is highlighted by an awards ceremony that's held at the Georgia International Convention Center. Every year, the governor comes to speak at that, and they award Manufacturer of the Year for small, medium, and large size businesses. Locally here in Douglas County, we have the existing Industry and Workforce Committee that is managed through the Douglas County Chamber, and our project manager in our office, Breezy Straighton, happens to chair that committee. It's a committee of volunteers, members of the chamber, and some who are not members of the chamber, who are all concerned about supporting our existing industries here in the county. And so that's very important to us at the Development Authority, that we continue to grow business that is here currently, help them expand. We never want them to leave. And so therefore, this proclamation is before you for your acknowledgement and recognition of Manufacturers Appreciation Week.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pumphrey.
Anyone else have any questions for Mr. Pumphrey, as long as he's up there? No?
So much. So we have item 21-16-09, which is Community Economic Development, adopt a resolution declaring April 18th through 22nd, 2016 as Manufacturers Appreciation Week within the city of Douglasville. It's been properly moved in second. To approve this item, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. This item has been approved. Thank you so much, Mr. Pumphrey.
No other business for Community and Economic Development, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to Planning and Development Committee. In that Vice Chair, Councilmember LaShawn Byrd-Danley. Do you have any business, ma'am?
No business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Parks and Recreation Committee, Chairman Councilman Watts.
Madam Mayor, we have nothing to go over tonight.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 11, which is Finance Committee, and that Vice Chair is Councilman Richard Siegel. You have business, sir?
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Move on to item 12, which is Information Technology Committee. Also, Chairman is that Mr. Siegel, Councilman Siegel.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. It's a light night. 13, Maintenance and Sanitation Committee, and that Chairman is Councilman Mike Miller. You have business, sir?
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Item 14, Transportation Committee. That Chairman is Councilwoman LaShawn Byrd-Danley. You have business, ma'am?
No business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Danley. Item 15, Personnel and Organization Committee. The Chairman is Councilman, let me let you sit down, Councilman Mike Miller. You have business, sir?
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Ordinance is an Intergovernmental Committee. The Chairman is Councilmember LaShawn Byrd-Danley.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. 17 is Education and Training Committee. Councilmember Samuel Davis, you have business, sir?
No business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's spring break. All right. Other business, is there any other business to come before this body from council members? Okay, we'll move on to the City Attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief of Police, Chief Gary Sparks.
No business, Madam Mayor.
One Community Policing. Thank you, sir. City Manager, Ms. Marsha Hampton.
Only item I have, Madam Mayor, is to have our Maintenance and Sanitation Director, Greg Roberts, come up. He's going to make a report to you about one event that we're holding that's coming up really soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor,
Yes.
City Council. It's time for our annual spring cleanup, and wanted to just bring that to the
I know
attention
it.
of our residents. It is intended for our residents. It does not apply to commercial businesses and industrial properties, but only residential neighborhoods. It is the week of April 18th on your normally scheduled pickup day. So if your garbage day is normally on Monday, that's the day we will pick your items up. If it's on Wednesday, that is the day we'll pick your items up. And you can feel free to email our office, and this is mainly for the television audience, but for the council as well. You can email us at sanitation@douglasvillega.gov. We can pretty much respond to you 7 days a week, almost 24 hours a day, almost. But we'll definitely respond to that pretty much 7 days a week if you email us at sanitation@douglasvillega.gov. There's a number of things that we do accept, and I'll just read from this list, because even though I've been a part of it as long as I have, sometimes I forget what we do and do not take, and even my own staff will remind me. And I think we can all relate to that sometimes. But we will accept furniture and appliances, but hold the appliance thought, I'll come back to that. Old carpet and carpet padding, small building materials, such as what you might have stored on your property. So if you've got some old cut-up pieces of plywood or sheetrock, that's something we'll pick up. Now, we're not looking to remove an entire barn of building materials. We may have to talk to you if you put that at the street. Old fencing materials, paint. One thing I will point out about paint is you would need to solidify it. Mm-hmm. You can do that with sand. You can do it with peat moss. You can get either one of those materials at a hardware store, any of the local hardware stores. Peat moss does it really good, probably better than sand because it's less granulated and it'll absorb it better. And so what we're wanting you to do is absorb or solidify the paint in some material that will absorb it. Because what will happen on your street where you live, if you put paint and you mix it in your garbage, and this really is year-round, we will accept it year-round in your garbage, but it's particularly of note in our spring and fall cleanup, is that people will throw a 1-gallon container of paint in their garbage and tie it up. We don't know it's there, and then when the packer blade on the garbage truck hits that bag and starts bringing it up in there, it spills open. Even though water doesn't come out of that truck, somehow paint will come out of that truck. I have no idea how to make that work. So you wouldn't want to do that because you're going to have a big paint spill in front of you or your neighbor's home, and so you don't want to do that. But we will pick your paint up if you'll solidify it. Appliances on Saturday, April 16th. On Saturday, April 16th, at the First Presbyterian Church on Campbellton Street, and it's at 9190 Campbellton Street. That's the First Presbyterian Church. That's right there just north of I-20, and where the flagpole is, what we refer to as Freedom Island at Hospital Drive for our residents. The church on the southeast corner there is the First Presbyterian Church, and on that Saturday we will have a set up there with Keep Douglasville Beautiful. Chan Weeks, the director of KDB, will be there. We'll have some folks there assisting, and you can bring a number of things there, electronics, all types of metal. The reason this is significant and works for us, and that's really open to people, if you're listening and you're not even a city resident, you can come to this event and drop off these items. We'll have a couple of roll-offs down there. This is particularly for recycling type items such as wash machines. You can bring appliances like that. Even if you do not live in the city, you can do this. And we will turn those over to a metals recycling facility the following week. This is just to keep it out of our waste stream. The items we do not accept on spring and fall cleanup are tires, car tires, batteries, large automobile parts, and hazardous waste in any form. That does include paint, but if you solidify it, then we do take it. One thing I would mention to our residents is yard waste. Sometimes residents, and I think it's just a way of thinking that we're wanting to do all this in 1 week. But yard waste, that's pretty much a service we offer to our residents year-round. And so for these special weeks, such as Spring Cleanup Week or Fall Cleanup Week, you don't have to wait and put all your yard waste out there. You can do that on your daily pickup every week. We will pick it up if you put it all out there, but we might be a little late on the yard waste because we concentrate first and foremost on the perishable solid waste, the stinky garbage. We will get rid of that garbage. And so I don't know if the council has or the mayor has any questions, or staff, anybody in the room, if you have any questions on spring cleanup. Yes, sir.
I understand there's also the yard sale amnesty weekend immediately preceding that.
It is. That's Friday through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That would be the 15th through the 17th.
And that Saturday, April 16th, then, is when Tributary will have our semi-annual community yard sale. So you're all welcome to come down and see what treasures you can find in Tributary. Some residents will set up in Founders Park. Some will be in front of their house, both the village and the riverbanks. So I just thought I'd get that plug in there. It's early in the morning, 8 a.m. or something like that, until lunchtime. So. And
one of the things to that, Councilman Siegel, is this really was kind of one of those things that's born out of, I guess, necessity, and it was brought to our attention through the Keep Georgia Beautiful branch a few years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago. We had noticed that some other city was doing something similar. They weren't necessarily having a spring cleanup week, but they were trying to encourage doing yard sale amnesties, and then that local government was apparently arranging with residents to pick up what they didn't sell just to get properties cleaned up, as we were talking, unrelated to my department, but as we were talking earlier. And this is truly a part of code enforcement in a sort of a roundabout way, because it allows people to get their yards cleaned up. But not to get on that subject, but the city of Douglasville, to this council and previous city council, we offer an avenue for our residents to clean your yard up in a lot of ways, and so this is one of them. But on the yard sale, some of our residents have a yard sale on Friday, Saturday, and or Sunday, and those items that didn't sell, they just carry it down to the curb. And there's a lot of activities that go on during this particular week, some of which we won't mention, but they're all a benefit to the city. And yes, sir.
The wood people put, if it's got nails in it, they'll still pick it up.
We will. We don't expect a lot of that, hopefully. A lot of the quote-unquote wood we get that's not yard waste type wood, it's usually like an old cabinet or a desk or something like that. And we usually end up with some old plywood or pieces of boards, but we would prefer the nails be bent back into the wood, but we will take it.
Yes, sir. And I was going to ask about the yard sale amnesty. That's where they do not have to require a permit.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
There is no permit required, and hopefully the weather will be perfect.
Okay. And for the paint, can you put kitty litter? God bless you.
You can use kitty litter.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty litter works good. Peat moss works really good.
Yeah. And then clothes. You can, before, if you had a lot of clothes, you would have to use the sticker, the city sticker on the big bag, right? But now you can just put the clothes out there.
Are you talking about like clothing, apparel clothing?
Yes, sir. If you don't sell it during your yard sale.
Yeah, and hopefully good wearable clothing won't be put in this. If it doesn't sell at your yard sale, if you'll email us, I won't make a huge commitment for the TV audience, but if you'll email myself and Ms. Weeks with KDB, we work really close. It's really an unspoken relationship that we don't make a lot to do about, but then that's kind of my nature. We involve our assistance to a lot of people without patting ourselves on the back about it. But we're involved with a lot of the local organizations that give back to the community, such as Loving Hands, and I hate to name one and not 10 others, but there's a bunch. Mm-hmm. And so it would be better if you don't throw away clothes. If you don't have any means to get rid of it once you've tried to sell it at a yard sale, if you'll let us know, we'll see what we can do to help you relieve yourself of that without throwing it away. Because everything about the whole, and our entire recycling program, it's really about repurposing things. That's why we don't want to throw appliances in the garbage. We don't want to just crunch it all up and throw it in a garbage truck and it go to the landfill when there's a certain amount of value to the metal.
Okay, any other questions as it relates to the Spring Cleanup Week, which is April 18th in the city of Douglasville? Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you.
I love that time of the year. It's great. Now is the opportunity for comments from citizens and delegates. If you'd like to make a comment to the mayor and council, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and we'd love to hear from you. Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Brandon.
City Council, Madam Mayor, Chief Sparks, rest of City Council, City Manager. Thank you guys, first off, for being here and giving your time for our city. So before I even start, I just want to say thank you guys, and I truly appreciate the fact that you guys make me proud to be a long-standing, lifelong Douglasville citizen. So I thank you guys for that. I've come up here for two reasons. First, I wanted to speak about the housing situation with the elderly. I was here last week as you guys were discussing that, and the developers who were trying to come in and create that housing. So after leaving, doing my own personal research, I found that there is a lot of elderly people who are looking for housing, and there are a lot of waiting lists for the housing departments that we already have. And as I was listening to people's talk, the citizens' talk last week, I noticed that some people were concerned that, well, the old mill area, that is not usually a housing district, so we should do something commercial there. And then some other people were concerned that, well, we do need the housing for the elderly. So my question / suggestion was, if these developers want to come in and have the money to be able to do this for the city, is it possible that we could look to find other places if the old mill yard is not somewhere that is suitable? Because I understand that we're looking for the forward movement of the city, and so we want to make sure we put things properly in proper places so that it makes sense and so that we attract businesses and other people here. So that's my suggestion / question. Is it possible for us to be able to look into other places to put that housing, because it's definitely needed here in the city? I'm not sure if you guys can answer that or if that has to be.
Randy, did you give us your name and address for the record?
I didn't. I'm sorry. My name is Brandon Penniman, and I live at 1082 Abington Court, Douglasville, Georgia 30134.
And our community development and economic development chair, Mr. Adams, is working on that whole comprehensive housing plan. So that's something that we're looking at, projections for the future that will be including available housing for seniors in a different variety of housing choices. So we can't answer the question with specifically where it will be or if it will be, but there is a look at the entire housing mix for the city of Douglasville.
Okay, awesome.
In the future.
Are there meetings for that where the people in the city can come, or is that just going to be done privately? And
No, it'll be set up meetings of city manager. I don't know if you want to address.
Yes, ma'am. I have not had an opportunity since the last meeting to get with the chairman to decide how we want to plan things out. But if there are public meetings, we will, which there would be, I will let you know, as well as the public.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, thank you guys for that. And then my second reason for being here today is that I wanted to let you all know that my organization, Fit for the Future, is honoring one of our city council people this year, Ms. LaShawn Danley, as one of our community trailblazers. Chief Sparks was one of our trailblazers last year, and we're just honoring her, and I wanted to invite the entire city council out. I brought some personal invitations for you guys. Is it okay for me to step forward? Okay. So yes, each year we honor people in the community and also raise funds. These funds go directly back into our community through our community engagement fund, which allows us to do a sports camp. We do a back-to-school festival each year. We also run a mentoring program for young men. And then we also have something called the Assistance Relief Program, where people in the community can fill out an application and receive money if they're low-income housing, or if they're single parents, or different things like that, where they need help with whatever they need. We have the funds to be able to just give them money to be able to help them. And then finally, we also have a student scholarship program where each year we give out 5 scholarships at $500, book stipends for graduating seniors, and then we also give them a stipend every year that they keep a 3.0 GPA throughout their collegiate career. So that's where all the funds from the Community Trailblazer Award go to. So I would like to invite all of you guys out, first to, of course, support Ms. Danley, but also to support the community as well.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Mr.
guys so
Brandon.
much for your time, and I appreciate you guys for being here.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Councilmember LaShawn Danley. You're welcome. Okay, we'll move on. Are there any other comments from citizens and delegates? Oh, I apologize.
I apologize. One last thing. We're also honoring Mr. Davis's nephew, Justin Davis, who is a diplomat, a U.S. diplomat in Cuba. He's a Douglas County High School graduate. He just met with the president a couple of weeks ago, so he's one of our honorees as well. So Mr. Davis has set the bar for him, and now his nephew is going on to be great, just like his uncle. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing citizens who make a difference in the community. We'll move on to staff reports. Do we have any staff reports?
Have any at this time?
Thank you so much. Well, that comes to the end of our meeting. I make a motion to adjourn this meeting. Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This meeting is adjourned.